Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Eric Hopkins, and I wanted to do a quick spoiler review of the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 4. I just got done watching this episode, and I could not wait to talk about it, so I just want to let you guys know this will be spoiler heavy, so if you don't know what happens in the episode, please stop this video right now and then come back later. Alright, so now that we got that warning out of the way, this episode is absolutely insane. It is incredible. Definitely the best episode of the season. I think the Falcon and Winter Soldier on the whole started off a little slow, but again, building and building and building, and definitely came to a peak here in episode 4. I mean, just to kind of a slight recap here, we've got, Baron Zemo being broken out of prison and, helping out Sam and Bucky try to track down the super soldier serum, and who's at play here, who's trying to make more of it, all this sort of stuff. And I can't wait to see who this power broker is, who's maybe kind of playing the behind the scenes here with Carly and all that stuff. But the idea that there's more super soldiers out there in the MCU is very intriguing, and this episode is a prime example of why not just anybody can take up the Captain America shield. Nobody can just say I want to do this and just do it. I love how it just shows the character of John Walker. I know a lot of people don't like his character in this series because everybody wants Steve Rogers. I mean, we all love Steve Rogers, right? But John Walker is not Steve Rogers, and this episode makes that abundantly clear. The John Walker's character is he's a hothead. He may have medals of honor, 3 of them in fact, I believe they said, but that does not mean you're a good person at your core. And this calls all the way back to Captain America: The First Avenger, the first film in the series, where Dr. Erskine and Steve Rogers are talking about the serum, and before Steve undergoes the transformation, and Dr. Erskine says, "You're a good man, and that's why you deserve it, and that's why I'm going to give it to you. And don't let it change who you are, because you are a good man." The serum, the super soldier serum, it enhances who you are as a human being. So if someone like John Walker takes this serum, and by the end of this episode, he has. I love the scene where the serum got knocked on the floor during a scuffle, and Zemo was standing over it, and of course he doesn't like superheroes because of what happened to his family. He thinks that they should be wiped out, like he tried to do, or he tried to break the Avengers up in Civil War and succeeded, that mind you. So when Zemo was presented with the opportunity to steal some of that super soldier serum for himself, he didn't do it. Say what you want about Zemo, but he doesn't feel like he needs that, doesn't want that. But when it came time for John Walker to step into that scene, there was a vial on the ground, and he took it, because earlier in the show we got a fight scene, which I'll talk about too, where John Walker was easily overwhelmed by the Dora Milaje, and he realized he's not good enough to do this job, because they weren't super soldiers or nothing, and he still got bested easily. So John Walker steals this vial, and when by the end of the episode, he has taken this super soldier serum, because you see him bend the pipe around one of Carly's henchmen, I believe, or a member of the Flag Smashers. And during this battle, John Walker's friend, Lamar Hoskins, I believe is his name, Battlestar, appears to be killed. I don't know if it's fully 100% confirmed, but he's definitely knocked out. But I'd say it looked like he was dead. And if that's the case, or at least John Walker felt so, and he snaps. And when he snaps, he completely loses his cool. He completely loses about everything he says he is, he thinks he is, and he goes after some Flag Smashers and ends up brutally murdering one in a scene that echoed Civil War, where Captain America took the shield down on Tony Stark's chest, and when he brings it down, I mean, he constantly, over and over and over again, and just murders this guy right in the middle of public view. Cell phone cameras going off. It's being broadcast all over the world. through social media, and the news is going to pick up on this. And it is the one thing you cannot do with that shield, something that Steve Rogers would not do in a bazillion years. This sort of thing is going to fundamentally change this series, and it just goes to show that Steve Rogers was absolutely right when he gave that shield to Sam at the end of Avengers Endgame. And we're going to see Sam realize this in the next few episodes, and I think we're going to finally get the Falcon taking up the mantle of Captain America. The other thing I really enjoyed about this episode, and it wasn't really a small thing, but it was a very detail driven. I really enjoyed was very beginning of this episode. We get a flashback to when the Winter Soldier is in Wakanda and he's learning to control his brainwashing, not being taken by the words that control his mind. And you see Io training him, and the scene is so well acted by Sebastian Stan. You feel his fear, you feel his inner turmoil, and by the time she gets done reading these words that were the code words to control the Winter Soldier, and by the time he realizes he's free thanks to the Wakandan technology and training, the absolute relief that comes upon his face, and that it's so well acted. I was getting goosebumps watching it, and between that scene and the scene where the Dora Milaje come to confront Zemo and come to take him after Bucky and Sam got him out of prison, the Dora Milaje and Wakanda still want justice for the king of or for the death of King T'Chaka, and I love how they bring in the Dora Milaje into this and Wakanda in general. This episode really made me feel that despite the tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, the MCU is going to be just fine with Wakanda, because this episode really showed me the potential that the Wakandan culture, the characters in Wakanda, besides Black Panther, they're going to be just fine. Regardless of how they handle Black Panther 2, which I have all the faith in the world, they're going to handle it with the utmost respect to Chadwick Boseman and the Black Panther character. And we may get another character take up the Black Panther mantle, depending on how they go. But this episode with the Dora Milaje, it was absolutely incredible. And that fight scene when they confront Zemo and Sam and Bucky, and then John Walker's there, and where John Walker gets completely overwhelmed, brilliantly done. And another little minor thing to mention too, during this encounter, Baron Zemo gets away by through a hole underneath the bathtub in their hotel or wherever they were staying. So he's going to be a force to be reckoned with too. This whole series is just so well done. It is a big budget motion picture, done in 6 chapters, and the MCU is just. I know a lot of people are thinking they're not going to have anything left after Avengers Endgame. I beg to differ. If you've seen WandaVision, and if you've seen this series at all up to this point, they've got plenty of places they can go with this. It's not over. This whole thing is only going to continue and ramp up even further. I cannot wait to see where they go with the rest of the series. There's only 2 episodes left, episode 5 and episode 6. I've heard episode 5 is supposed to be absolutely crazy, and of course, the climax is going to be even better, I'm sure. So I can't wait for this and Loki and all the other shows they've got planned. The MCU has a bright future ahead of us. But I want to know what you guys thought. Let me know. What did you think about this whole John Walker character completely just brutalizing this, character, and absolutely, exposing to the world who he truly is and how that's going to affect everything going forward? Comment below. Let me know. Like and subscribe to this channel. And until my next video, take care.